Showtime!
Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to your seats.
Showtime!
Please make your way to your seats. The show is about to begin.
Showtime!
Let the magic begin.
This next one is really weird.
Weird is not the name for it. I say creepy.
Scientists make living skin for smiling robots in a horrifying vision of the future.
Leave it to Asia. Researchers at the University of Tokyo have created a technique for covering robots in a skin that's made of actual human cells. So this study was published in Cells Reports Physical Science. So I don't know if it's been peer reviewed, but it might have been. The key goal is to give robots the ability to self-heal, in quotes, when the skin is damaged. So the skin works by using human fibroblasts and other cells along with collagen to form what's called a dermis equivalent. And the anchors for this is inspired by skin ligaments that attach it to the robot frame, which allows realistic stretching and movement like human skin. So cells can proliferate to regenerate any injuries, and there's no internal triggers needed, no external triggers needed. So it's like the types of cells that they're using is the dermis equivalent, which contains human fibroblasts as well as keratinocytes. And fibroblasts produce collagen and other compounds for the structural integrity, and keratinocytes generate the outer epidermal layer with distinct layers like real skin. So cool, but scary at the same time.
This is very scary. And I highlighted the comment here. It's not a comment, it's in the article. Is the robot uprising just around the corner? The self-healing, I took a look at it. I went down the rabbit hole because this isn't the original article that you shared with me. This has more information.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. This is great. This is more information. But I went down the rabbit hole to the white paper, and the white paper had more to do with fingers and moving parts, right?
Yeah.
Less to do with faces, saying that, it injured a finger and it wasn't able to flex as well. And after the self-healing part did its thing, it was able to flex without, any trouble again. So it was interesting to read that, which was more obviously bending capability than, say, a smiling face.
Yeah.
So why?
What do you mean why?
Like why do we need living skin that heals itself so robots can smile? Like I get the finger movement, maybe.
I think that's a horrible depiction. I think that there's other applications. So like for softer touch, in case they cut it on something when they're moving something or when they're dealing with sharp objects like steel or things like that, to interact with humans, robotic prosthetics, medical devices, different things like that. I could see that. But obviously the scary thing and the creepy thing that they're showing is the face that could smile and express emotions. And it's very unsettling, I would say.
Indeed. It says we're not, the robot uprising is not around the corner, probably not given the fact that anything approximating true self-awareness or mind of one's own is still a work of science fiction. But ChatGPT passed the Turing test recently, but is that really still relevant, the Turing test?
I don't think so. Because all you have to do is train it on what the Turing test is, right?
I guess.
I don't think it would, so where I could see the Turing test being relevant is if you created an AI without the teachings and it learned itself and learned the Turing test and passed the Turing test. But again, I haven't done a deep dive into that.
I guess that I haven't really thought through it that way, but I guess as a human, I would ask him questions that, would throw it related to, what do you know about ancient Rome? And then what do you know about Taylor Swift? And then what do you know about, you jump around a lot and then try and hopefully get a feel. But I guess if you're having the normal conversation. So how close is the skin to functioning or feeling like human skin?
Yeah. So the artificial skin is apparently quite rudimentary compared to actual human skin. So it only contains basic cell types like the fibroblasts and keratinocytes. Human skin obviously has many more specialized cells like Merkel cells, dendritic cells, different things like that. The layers and architecture of the skin don't appear to fully mimic a true dermis, epidermis, subcutaneous tissue, or anything like that. So it's more of a basic equivalent. So there's no indications it has abilities like sweating, hair follicles, oil glands, sensation, goosebumps, or anything like that, like real skin does. But you never know. We can grow meat in a lab. Maybe we can grow skin that can be used. But the self-healing is also limited to basic proliferation to fill small defects. So there's no signs of really regenerating entire layers, complex scars, or things like that. There's also no blood vessels or immune cells. At least they didn't mention that, which are critical for healing wounds in human skin. So even though it's a significant step forward in artificial skin, it still lacks some of the most complex structure, cell diversity, and functionality of actual human dermal tissue. Again, I'm not an expert. Just this is from my reading and from research.
Yeah, this is interesting. I like what some people have said here. Like Mark here said, I, for one, welcome our new skin-suited serial-killing overlords. If you think it all sounds kind of horrifying, you're not alone. As UK-based sci-fighter author Nate Crowley tweeted, me, a science fiction author known for writing about robots and skin, please, for the love of God, do not give the robots skin.
Yeah.
So what are the key?
Like I went to CES a few years ago, right? And out of Asia, I can't remember what country, so I don't want to say, but they had these robots that and you've seen them, you've seen videos of them that can blink, that look at you, that have facial expressions, obviously not fake skin, but they are they're not super realistic, but like they're getting closer and closer.
This has come a long way from, I remember buying my eldest daughter when she was really young, Barbie, that you could program. You'd plug it in and you'd program her name and some of her favorite stuff and the name of her pets and stuff. And it would respond to her and talk to her in her name. And it was creepy. Literally, like the head would turn towards your voice. Hello, Melissa. What?
Well, the creepiest one was the Teddy Ruxpin doll.
Why? What did it do that was creepy?
Just it was the first doll that had blinking eyes and would look around. It was just super, super creepy.
We had this toy for our girls. It was just like a big pillowy thing with a face on it that had like a motion sensor in it, that when the motion sensor would go off, it would say, I see you.
Oh my God.
I love you. Yeah, it's like, and when the battery started to go, it would just randomly do that. So you'd be it'd be in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. in the morning. I see you. What's going on? Anyway, back to this. How long what are the key challenges to improving the durability and longevity? Like, does it really last? Like, if it's living, does it rot? Does it grow?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. So I don't think it rots. I could be wrong, though. So there's a few things. You need to increase the tear resistance. So the skin needs to withstand flexing and stretching from robot movement without tearing. So they're going to have to advance their material engineering for that case. They got to improve abrasion resistance. So it needs to be able to resist scraping, rubbing, general wear and tear throughout daily robot use. Enhancing puncture resistance, developing. So the puncture resistance it needs a more robust epidermal layer that could prevent easy puncturing from sharp objects or debris. Developing self-healing for larger wounds. So right now it can only heal small defects. So they're going to have to come up with new vascular structures and stem cells to help regenerate significant damage. Thermal resistance. So the skin cells and material should withstand both high and sub-zero temperatures without breakdown. The biostability, so the skin compounds will need to resist breakdowns from oils, solvents, other chemicals, and things like that, and extending before fatigue sets in. So the skin needs to maintain elasticity after repeated use and stress before weakening. So again, this is really we're really at the proof of concept kind of stage, if that makes sense.
Well, now that I'm reading more and I'm covered up the grotesque picture of the face. Is this the future of sex dolls?
Probably. It's $1 billion industry, so I wouldn't be surprised if they've got some money in this.
I don't know if it feels like skin. I think that would be a whole different situation with some of the weird stuff going on.
That makes things even creepier. Thanks for ruining that even worse, Craig.
Well, I'm just
true though.
I'm trying to find a practical purpose for putting skin on something. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It makes sense. Yeah.
You know, if you want to put skin on a artificial leg, okay, or an arm, so it looks like okay, I see those things, but if we do achieve AGI, artificial generative intelligence, like this says, scientists working on giving the robotics human skin to eventually allow self-healing as they slaughter humanity, and if this new research is any guide, at least they'll be smiling when they do it.
Yeah. So this paired with another article that I read, and I'll post about it on LinkedIn. I think maybe they were talking about an artificial brain with artificial tissue or something like that was controlling a chip or something, which is the first of its kind. So you pair that with the skin, we're getting closer and closer every day.
Wow, that was amazing.